What's up everybody, Jolt here from TheTokenMinorities, and I am bringing you week 5 of the NPL. We are currently doing pretty well. We're sitting at a pretty 3-1 record, and going into this week we have a pretty difficult matchup against the New England Patrats, who actually are a new team in this league. I said in last week's video that my opponent this week would be the Chicago Sacred Fire. However, the coach of the Chicago Sacred Fire, StabX4, decided to step down from the league due to personal reasons, so that's totally respectable, but we do have a new coach in his place with the same Mons on the team to be competing against this week. So looking at the team preview, as we can see here, he has a pretty scary team. He has Manaphy, Gliscor, Jirachi, Talonflame, Mega Heracross, Latias, Shaman, Gardevoir, Blissey, Gengar, and Shuckle. So just looking at a glance against my team, he has Mons that can actually sweep my entire team. He has this Manaphy, which if it just sets up a Tail Glow, can actually just destroy everything that I have. So that's pretty scary. It's something I'm going to have to be very careful about in my team building process, and I'm going to have to prepare for it very well. And then secondly, this Talonflame is the other huge threat to my team, as again, just like Manaphy, if it's able to set up a Swords Dance or even just be a Choice Banded Brave Burst set, it's going to put in a lot of work against my team and quite frankly give me a lot of trouble and make it difficult to win. Other notable threats include the Blissey, which is going to be able to completely shut down Volcarona, which makes Volcarona not the easy win condition in this game, but definitely still useful nonetheless. And then he has the Latias and the Mega Heracross, both of which are useful just in this league, just as they are in OU. And then of course the Gliscor, which does what Gliscor does and annoy the heck out of you. And then finally the Gengar, which we all know is a very good mon, especially in OU, but even in NPL. So that's something I'm going to have to be fully prepared for if I'm going to have a chance in this week's matchup. So let's go ahead and move on to the team building process. Alright, so for this game, I knew right away that I was going to need some very bulky mons to be able to handle the threats that he had to offer. So to start things off, I added my Mega, the Mega Venusaur, as it really is the best overall mon on my team, and quite frankly, it's going to be useful in pretty much every battle this season. So I started off with Mega Venusaur, and the question was whether I wanted to make it defensive or especially defensive. And just based upon his team and the fact that he has Manaphy, the fact that he has Gengar, and the fact that he has Shaman, is plenty of reason for me to decide to bring a specially defensive Mega Venusaur with just the standard moveset. So that's the idea there. And then my next mon is actually what I think is going to be the MVP of this game. That is the Tornadus Therian with a very effective moveset against his squad. Superpower is there to hit the Blissey specifically. Hurricane is there to hit the majority of his team, as he really lacks switch-ins to Hurricane, and the only real switch-in that he does have to a Hurricane being, well, switches the Shuckle and the Jirachi. The Shuckle is obviously not a threat, but the Jirachi is going to get pegged with either Heat Wave or Knockoff. So basically this coverage is going to be very good against his team. I'm running Life Orb on this for maximum power and still the ability to change my move depending on the circumstance. And moving on to the next mon, we have this Volcarona. Now this was a, I don't know. I decided to get a little bit cheeky this week. Because he has the Talonflame, and because my team is so weak to Talonflame, I thought it was in my best interest to try to lure the Talonflame and perhaps get rid of it early in the game. So what I decided to do was make a bulky Volcarona set with a Cobra Berry. If you aren't familiar with what a Cobra Berry does, it simply halves the damage taken from a super effective flying attack. So when the Talonflame comes in and tries to Brave Bird on my Volcarona, I am EV'd such that I can live any form of Talonflame Brave Bird without any additional boosts. So that's kind of cool. And then of course I have Hidden Power Rock to hopefully KO it shortly following that. And then my investment here, just so that you are aware, the 88 EVs and special attack here allow me to OHKO a Swords Dance bulky-ish Talonflame without any prior damage, so that's pretty nice. But yeah, I'm hoping that Volcarona is able to do what I'm building it to do, and if, quite honestly, if it can't do what I want it to do, I'm going to lose the game essentially. So moving on to my next mon, I brought Vaporeon, and Vaporeon is just very good against this team in general, mainly against the Latias, and then of course against the Gengar, as it is a very sturdy wall slash tank slash support mod for my team. The only real debate here was whether I wanted to bring Heal Bell or Roar, as I know this team that I'm facing has a lot of options as far as Baton Pass is concerned, but I also know that he has a lot of options as far as needing Heal Bell is concerned, as he does have the Jirachi and the Gliscor, so both of which are very status happy. And yeah, so I want to be prepared for that. So I decided to go for Heal Bell, as it was more likely to come into play in this game. The next mon on my team is the Gligar, and this is here specifically as a counter to Mega Heracross, as again my team really doesn't handle Mega Heracross whatsoever unless I bring this Gligar. So I brought Gligar with the standard moveset that I've been using all season, and then Acrobatics as my attacking move, as it does easily 2-hit KO Mega Heracross. So yeah, that'll be a nice little Mega Heracross counter, and then obviously Hazard support. And then finally, Wobbuffet. So I brought Wobbuffet this week mainly because I needed a secondary option, I guess, against the Talonflame and Manaphy, and yeah, I'm going to have to play Wobbuffet very well to have a chance in this game, to be honest. I'm hoping that Volcarona is going to be able to take out the Talonflame, but if not, I'm going to have to lean on Wobbuffet to take it out. So that's kind of the idea here. That's the team preview overall as well. So let's go ahead and jump into the battle, and joining me will be my friend MV, so I hope you enjoy. Alright, and here we are with the battle, and as I said before, joining me is my friend MV. Go ahead and say hello.
What's up guys? I'm the Lord himself, MV. I graduated with a PhD from MIT, of course, in bad play analysis. So as you can see, I do have the credentials to analyze the game that you're about to see. I was shown the replay, and immediately we both knew I had to make a special appearance. So it's good to be here today.
Well, thanks for joining me. Alright, so looking at the team preview, first thing I noticed is that he actually didn't bring Blissey, which makes Volcarona a much better mon in this matchup than I originally had anticipated, because it means that it's going to be pretty much a perfect lure to the Talonflame, as he won't have anything that can directly counter the Volcarona. So with that in mind, and also because my team as a whole is pretty dang weak to Talonflame, I am anticipating him to lead with Talonflame here, and as a result I am going to lead with my Volcarona. So let's go ahead and jump into the battle, and I was correct on the lead matchup, which is really nice. I'm immediately in a very good position, and he just falls for the bait immediately. As he goes for the Brave Bird, I eat my Koba Berry, which is it's going to make the Brave Bird do 33%, so that's nice.
Just judging by that damage, you'll automatically know that this Talonflame is definitely not, Choice Band or Life Orb or anything. It's a bulkier Talonflame, and in that, in that aspect, you can take into consideration that it's not going to be doing a lot of damage to any other Pokemon unless it sets up.
Yeah, that's for sure, and I don't even know if it had a setup move, to be honest, after talking to him after the game. I think it was just strictly a support Talonflame with Brave Bird, Roost, Taunt, and Wisp. So really not a threat, not what I would have brought in this matchup. But yeah, as you can see, he takes that hidden power relatively well for being a fire flying type. That just proves that he is going to be max Spadef, and he's just going to go straight for that Roost, as it was a pretty obvious play. So I do just go ahead and go for the Quiver Dance, as I really didn't lose anything. If he did just go for the Brave Bird, he would have most likely been defeated by his own recoil. So it was a safe play, and
yeah, judging by the amount of damage it did, I mean, it's not going to do a lot, and he doesn't even go for Brave Bird.
Yeah, I don't know. He said it was a missed click, and I'll give him benefit of the doubt on that, but I don't know. That's not something you do.
That's not something you mess up, especially if Volcarona setup.
I mean, he probably had some nerves. This was his first game in the NPL, so like I said, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that. But this does put him in a really rough situation, as now my Volcarona is at +1 in attack, and special attack, special defense, and speed, and he really doesn't have much that can come in and check this thing. But
I think, yeah, going into Gliscor was kind of a bad play, just because of the fact that Talonflame's Brave Bird only did that much damage to the Volcarona, so you can't expect Gliscor to do as equivalent damage,
Yeah, for sure. And so it shows there, as the Earthquake only does like 32%, and I'm able to take out the Gliscor with a couple Fiery Dances. So I'm sitting in a pretty good situation here. I did get another +1 boost from the Fiery Dance and my special attack, and that forces him to go into his Manaphy to presumably just go for a Scald and take me out.
But he ends up going for the he ends up going for the Psychic, which is which is not a good play at all. I mean, there's no reason for you to switch into like Venusaur or something just because you've already set up.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not going to complain because it does let me take out the second biggest threat to my team in this Manaphy. So that's very nice, as now I'm going to be in a 6-3 situation. And at this point, because he decided to go into Gliscor and then Manaphy, I'm thinking that I really have the game all wrapped up, as he wouldn't really have another switch in, right? Like, he wouldn't just burn these 2 mons if he had something to take me out. And by the fact he goes into Latias, this is further proven. And I just take that right out with a Bug
he ends up
Buzz.
sacking the Latias here, but then he ends up going into the Jirachi, and now that's really odd just because his Jirachi was Scarf, so why would he sack Lati in the first place? That just made absolutely no sense.
Yeah, for real. I really don't know. And for that matter, why did he sack Manaphy? Because I think the Zen Headbutt would have done enough, right? I don't.
Oh yeah, it would have like it would have been a solid, probably 2-hit KO maybe.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, there's a good chance he could have gotten the flinch. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. That would have been a better play.
He ended up sacking Gliscor, Manaphy, and Lati, and then brought out the Jirachi. So I really don't know what he was doing.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but. Anyways, because the Jirachi is choice locked into Zen Headbutt, I'm going to take this as a nice little opportunity to give our buddy Wobbuffet some screen time and take this Jirachi right out. So that's going to be the next few turns here, as Wobbuffet will ever so slowly counter all the health out of him.
It's a great Pokemon.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. It's one of the best Pokemon, I would say. And it's the team. It's the channel mascot for a reason.
The mascot.
It is
coming through.
But that's pretty nice here, and he just has the Mega Heracross left, and as I mentioned in the team analysis, I do just have the Gligar specifically created to counter this Heracross, and even if he goes for his Swords Dance here, I'm not scared whatsoever, as I can take it relatively well and get a nice little 2-hit KO with the Acrobatics. And if he did get I don't know, a few crits with Rock Blast, I did have the Tornadus T, which could very, very easily finish off the Heracross after this Acrobatics. So that's going to be the game. Definitely not the result I anticipated.
Yeah, exactly.
Not even close. But we'll take the win, and now we're sitting at a pretty 4-1 record, and we are tied for first place in the entire league. And next week, we actually have a game against the other team that I am tied for first place with in the entire league, so definitely stay tuned for that. But before we sign off, any last words, Envy?
Which one of his Pokemon had Stealth Rocks? That's what I'm wondering, because your team was kind of like, I mean, I think if you set up rocks, then your team would have had a tougher time.
Yeah, tougher time, yeah. I mean, I would assume the Gliscor had it. Like,
does Gliscor learn Stealth Rocks with Poison Heal?
Yeah. It only doesn't get default with Poison Heal. Stealth Rock is a tutor move. A tutor move from this gen.
True. All right. Yeah. That's. I mean, I felt like he has a lot of threats on his team, so I mean, he could have, if he like plays with it better, he could have a lot more potential.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I expect him to do better in the upcoming weeks. This is the first week for him, like I said before, so he probably has some jitters and such. But we expect good things out of him. Definitely check out his channel, and of course check out MV's channel.
Yeah, check out my channel. You know, I got a bunch of cool Pokemon competitive vids, and you wanna say something about it? I know you watch my channel. Yes,
I do. He's a very, very good player. Definitely check it out. He does a lot of PO lives, participates in Smogon tournaments and stuff like that. You're an SPL as well, right?
It's over now.
Oh, it is? No.
But I'm in like a lot of Pokemon Online tournaments and stuff like that.
Yeah. You definitely check out his channel. Good stuff. Anyway, without further ado, we will see you all next week. Stay tuned.
Bye-bye.
Bye.